Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host for this evening, and today I have another review for you. In the vein of such films like The Witch, or It Follows, or The Eyes of My Mother, is a film from 2015, and I picked it up um, not too recently from Half Price Books, which they had a sale going on. It was about roughly $10 for me. So, in any case, the director of the film, his name is Oz Perkins, and this was his first film debut. And now you film lovers out there might know him as the young Norman Bates from Psycho 2. And he also played Johnny, the character of Johnny in Dead and Breakfast from 2004, which was kind of a zombie comedy. But in any case, the story surrounds three girls, two Catholic girls who end up, and that would be Kat and Rose, played by Kiernan Shipka and Lucy Boynton. And these Catholic girls were evidently getting ready to, along with the rest of their class, getting ready for winter break, and their parents mysteriously did not show up. I think in Rose's case, Lucy Boynton's character, she had actually not called her parents in time because I think she was trying to break off a relationship, but that's something that we learn later. And Kat, on the other hand, well, she seems like she's very timid, very quiet girl. We see her in the very beginning speaking to the dean, and he tells her that she has not been accepted in something or other. So I think she just takes it with a grain of salt and just is dealing with a lot. But then I think because she is the one that becomes somewhat possessed by some kind of a spirit while she is at the school for some reason. Well, anyways, the thing that I didn't get was how that cat had become possessed. It didn't exactly quite go through that whole process. Now, the reason why I say that this film was done in the vein of such films as The Eyes of My Mother or It Follows or something of that nature is because the pacing of this film is very slow. The film skips around, going back and forth between what happens ahead and what happens behind, and falls somewhere in between towards the end of the film. Now, Kat and Rose are left to wait for their parents with two of the nuns that are taking care of a home that is on the campus of the Bram School Girls School. So ultimately, there is another girl who was played by Emma Roberts, who her name is Joan. She evidently is found at a bus stop by an elderly man who is driving to the same school that the girls that we are watching their story of, where evidently that demonic possession takes place. And as we learn more about these two, that would be James Remar's character, but and Lauren Holly's character. We find out that these two that are married, who are just on the road there, they're going to visit the place where their daughter had been murdered. And they always take a flower to evidently her grave, which is probably somewhere nearby. But in between, we apparently, while Rose has come back from breaking it off with her lover, she finds Kat in the basement where the furnace is, and she's like rocking back and forth. So she's already starting to act a little weird. But the next morning, when the two are having a meal with the two nuns, when the girls are to say grace, when Kat doesn't follow along with the words of grace, she spews up. She basically throws up while saying grace. So that's definitely a sign. But there wasn't really a scare moment. This was more cinematic than anything else. So if you like films like that, then I would definitely check this out. My thing about the film is they didn't really show exactly how the two nuns were killed. They just let whoever found the bodies find them, and left everything up to suggestion. Now, maybe that gives it a little bit more of a mystery, but maybe to me, I would have wanted to see the violence that was involved in their deaths. I would have wanted to see that kill moment, and that's wherein I was disappointed in. Other than that, I would almost say that this film ended on like half of a thought. So it makes me wonder if there's going to be a sequel or something of that nature. And it's been a couple of years, so I don't know whether there will or will. So in any case, hopefully you enjoyed my thoughts on this film. And definitely check out the channel, like and subscribe. I just like voicing my thoughts on the different processes as this film played out. I mean, I felt like it jumped here and there. It was kind of disjointed, but I could definitely follow a storyline. I mean, they said that the nuns were somewhat satanic on the back of the film, and there was a story that Rose told Kat about a girl who went home and ended up becoming a worshiper of the devil, and that's kind of what I got out of this. And some of the visions that Emma Roberts' character was seeing were kind of different. To seeing her as the film moved on, you saw her start to remember what had happened, and it was more entertaining to see the sudden snap when it happened in her. So it was definitely different. In any case, definitely check us out, like and subscribe. I enjoy talking about these films, at least from my point of view. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll have another review shortly. So have a good evening.